Hey everyone, it's Jaden. We're back with another Mission Bit coding tutorial. And today, we're going to be learning how to use context menus and GUI buttons for a faster workflow. We're going to be testing this functionality in a mini platforming project, extending our previous video's third-person controller. So let's get right into it. So I'm in my previous scene, and currently, I made some changes while you're gone. I implemented a jump, a respawn for the player, and some platforms that break when the player collides with them. The idea of this tutorial is to teach you a quicker workflow when testing out these type of projects in play mode. First, let's go through context menus and see how they work for this situation. The type of use cases for context menus and GUI buttons are to create an inspector method to call our function directly from within the play mode or editor. So if I go into my script that's attached to the platform, I can actually click this 3 dots right here and click reset platform. And as you can see, it's able to reset it back to its original position. And I'll do the same for this center one. And it looks like everything is back to normal while I'm still in play mode. So I can just try this again. And it's gone. Cool. Let's go into the script and see how this works. So I'm in my falling platform script. And in order to implement a context menu, we need to define it above the function that we want to call in the inspector. As you can see here, I have it defined in square brackets and a parentheses plus quotations to define the label. But let's implement a new context menu function so we can see how this works. So I want to implement a function that tests the fall of the platforms without a player interacting with it, and currently is activating kinematic to allow the platform to fall. So let's just do public void, and let's name it test fall. Just a simple function over here, and we're just going to set the kinematic of our current rigid body to false. And as I was mentioning before, we need to define this context menu above the function that we want to call. So first of all, we'll do square brackets, context menu, and we'll open up a parentheses with quotations so we can define a label for our function. So we'll just name this testing platforms. And we'll give that a save, and let's go back to our game and see if this was working. Let's get into play mode. And right now, I don't want to test anything right now, but let's try this. So as I was mentioning, you open up the 3 dots in the corner of your script and look for the label that we defined, testing platforms. And as you can see, it drops. And let's give that a reset. Test it again. So it works. We try it on the left. Testing. Reset. So it seems like things are working. So that's a great way to utilize context menus for a single function call. However, we can make this more efficient by creating a platform manager that contains a list of all of our active platforms and create one function call that will reset all platforms instead of doing them one by one. So we could do that just like this, and everything is reset back to normal. So let's check this out. We have our list of platforms, and this one contains all of our platforms that we added in the inspector. And we have a for loop that basically calls our falling platform and our reset platform function. So instead of calling them one by one, we're able to loop through all of them at once and use one function call to do that at one time. So how can we make this be a more visible and interactive button directly in the inspector? And that's where GUI buttons come in. First thing you want to do is create a folder, and we're going to name that editor. So that's really important. You need to make sure that the scripts that you create for your editor is inside your editor folder. So once we do that, let's create a new script and let's name that Platform Manager Editor. Cool. Open that up. And in order to do this, we need to make sure that we are calling the editor and the script that we want to assign it to. So in this case, we want to assign it to our platform manager script. So what we're going to do is open up a square bracket and we're going to name that custom editor type of, then we're going to assign it to our platform manager. That should be good. And the next thing you want to do is make sure that instead of a mono behavior, we are actually going to override our editor script. And then next thing we want to do is open up a override method. And we're just going to do on inspector GUI. Instead of that, we could do draw default. So what that does is basically draws out all of our first initial call. So our list is going to be displayed above our button. The next thing we're going to do, we want to be able to access our platform manager, and we're going to assign that to a variable manager and do platform manager. So right now we're able to assign our platform manager script to our manager game object. And the next thing we want to do, this is just for show, but we can add some layout space just to make this look a little bit better. We'll just give that a space of 10. And lastly, in order to get this working, we need if GUI layout dot button. And then we're going to give this a label, just like we did with the other one. And we'll just name it reset all platforms. And last thing we want to do, we're going to access our respawn platforms by using our variable manager and respawn platforms. Exactly. So this is what we need in order to create a GUI button. So let's check that and let's see if this appears on our platform manager. All right, so it looks like we have a little button. Let's give it a test and see if that works. Looks like things are working. Cool. Let's work on another function that we could do. So just as an example, using the function that we created before to test all of our platform falling, we're going to utilize that in our platform manager. So I created a function that basically does the same thing as our respawn platforms, but instead we're just testing all of our platforms falling. So now that we created this test fall all function, we can assign that inside of our GUI button editor script. So just like how we assigned this one to our reset platform, we could do the same thing for our test fall all function. So in our script, we can see that there is a test fall all button. And if we hit play, look, looks like everything is falling. We could reset it, all again. Cool. So things are working. And that's about it. So now you know how to add context menu commands to your components and create simple inspector buttons with a custom editor. These tricks speed up your workflow, letting you test and tweak values in your editor without constantly hitting play. So thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more Unity tips. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video.